Hey there, fall is the new spring. That's what we'll be talking about today. This has been a big change on the farm this year, and I had a rough summer, as I've said before, and I don't plan on farming next summer. So right now it is mid-October and there is a ton of work to do, and I really do feel like it is kind of the spring. We're kind of preparing for the growing season, which will be from fall through spring. So bunch of cool stuff going on. As I posted in recent videos, we set up a third tunnel, and the reason for that is everything that's going to go in the ground here, which will probably be in early November, will be harvested in the hunger gap months of like late February into early April, when it's really hard to get produce out of the ground. So that's what this whole tunnel is going to be planted out for. We have a bunch of work to do here. I've documented like all the projects involved with this, from building the tunnels to putting in the baseboards to irrigation to end walls. I'll leave links down below for all those videos to check out, but a bunch of cool projects to show you today. Inside the third tunnel here, if you watched the last video about the tunnel building, we got the structure up and we also got the plastic up, and it went super smoothly and works out great. Inside here, we still have the silage tarp covering the ground until we're ready to build beds. We'll probably be doing that shortly. But again, we're just keeping the ground covered until we build the beds, and we'll be doing lasagna beds like we always do. So for today, the first thing we're gonna start working on is putting the baseboards in. And as I said, I made a video about that and why we did that and how we did that. But essentially, it's just because we're gonna be adding so much material in here, and because we have the ditches dug on either side of the tunnels for drainage, we need to put boards on the side just to keep the material from sliding out. So that's what we're gonna start with. So we just quickly put these boards in place, and we will sister them together with short pieces of wood like we did in the other tunnels, but we just want to get them in place for the time being, and we'll get to that soon. So the next thing we want to do is we're going to start working inside the tunnel and get as much prep work done before we start building beds. And what we're going to do today is rough in the overhead irrigation, because it's a lot of moving ladders around and it's better to do that when the beds are not built. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to rough in the overhead, and I'm using the Farmer's Friend overhead irrigation kit. But what I've done and what we're going to do today is break it up into two zones so we can control the bottom 4 beds and the top 4 beds separately. So we're just going to lay out the white tubing. This comes pre-punched with the holes for the sprinkler heads that come down, and we'll run a separate line to connect the bottom half, just like we did with the other ones. And as I said, I'll leave links down below for all the build videos and detailed explanations for all this kind of stuff. We got the whole overhead irrigation system roughed in, and it feels really good to have gotten that done. And I've found that it's really a good idea to get that in before you start building beds, because as you probably saw, we're moving the ladders around quite a bit, and it's a lot easier when there's no beds in here and you're not disturbing anything. And it's really great to plan these things ahead of time. And sometimes it feels weird because there's so much to do and you want to focus on the thing that you need to get done right now. But this is going to save a lot of headache down the road. And the other part of the overhead is that I'm probably not even going to use it till the spring, but I know I needed to get it in before I build the bed. So we just got that in. I haven't put all the sprinklers in the drop down pieces and made all the connections everywhere and stuff yet, but those are in areas that I won't be disturbing beds. So yeah, we're in really good shape with that. Let me show you where some of the other tunnels are at right now, and sort of you know, the state of the farm. I'm in the middle of tunnel 1 here, and in the back we have 2 beds of lettuce, a bed of carrots, and a bed of red Russian kale. In these beds here, we still have those Italian sweet peppers, which I'll be pulling out in the next week or two to put in winter crops, and a couple beds of carrots. Let's go check out tunnel 2. In tunnel 2 here, and in the back, we have sweet peppers, beets, red Russian kale, and lettuce. And up in the front here, we have beets, lettuce, carrots, and a bed that I just flipped, but I need to plant. And so that's really going to be the strategy, is the same crops I've been growing year round, and I'm just going to switch out that one seasonal. It's not a lot of crops, but what it does allow me to do is have enough for my customers so that I'm hopefully satisfying what they need. And you know, I'd rather have less crops but be able to provide enough for each of my customers than to just be running out of everything all the time and not helping them out as much. So again, my main crops, as I said before, are beets, lettuce, and carrots. And in the summer there were the sweet peppers, and I'm growing red Russian kale now for the winter time. And that's pretty much it. The nursery, I'm trying to keep that really full. I'll show you what's going on there. This is what the nursery's looking like right now, and got a few trays out here. I definitely got to start some more stuff, but I just recently transplanted a bunch of stuff out in the tunnel, so just trying to keep up with it. And yeah, everything's been going great in here. One thing I just want to update you guys about is the white landscape fabric that I put down under here is great because it keeps it cooler in here. but it does not block all the light, and there's stuff growing under there and sort of stick up in places. So that's something I would have reconsidered, but just want to give you a little bit of an update on that. The overhead misting system is working great. As a promise, I still owe you guys a video for that. A couple things I tweaked, but overall it's been really great, and it's been keeping things nice and watered. All the plants over there in the back is stuff for the hedgerow that's going to go below the third tunnel, which I've mentioned before. So plenty of room in here. It's really nice having a big nursery because, as you guys know, like in the springtime, you can never have enough nursery space. And right now, the fall is my new spring, so it's nice to have a lot of space. Well, some of the struggles about suburban farming are definitely happening. I know I've mentioned some of the pest problems that we've had here, but also I think the deer are finally getting in here. And yeah, I was saying some damage at the ends of the tunnel, so I don't think they're getting deep into the tunnel. I think they're getting startled by the plastic, but there's a couple things that are getting really chewed down. I'm pretty much sure it was deer. So what I did in the meantime, I don't have deer fence around the property, so I'm using my old chicken fence here and put electricity on it. So this has been tuned pretty well. Since I put this up, I haven't seen any damage in there, so maybe just the fact that it's close to the ends of the tunnels, I don't know if they're gonna clear it. If they start figuring it out after that, we'll have to figure something else out. But this has been working so far. I'm glad I still had this around. I was able to just rig this up pretty quickly. But if you're wondering why you might see fencing in the background, that's what it's here for the time being. I don't have it completely surrounding everything, but I'm pretty sure they were just coming in from this side, and it's pushed out all the way to the other fence line on the other side of the tunnel. So far it's been good. I think this has been up for about a week or so, and I haven't seen any damage, but keep an eye on it. There's also definitely been a shift in the weather recently. We had a storm roll through this weekend, and it is much cooler now. It kind of feels like fall here, but to me this is weird still for fall, because I know I've been in North Carolina for 6 years, but growing up in New England, fall feels very differently, because there, as soon as the light starts going down and you're having shorter days, it starts to cool off. Here it stays warm till pretty much like Halloween or so, but it definitely feels a little bit cooler now. It does feel like fall, but again, fall is my new spring. So for all of you out there in the springtime, you know that when you're getting your farm or your garden ready, you're doing a bunch of projects, you're cleaning up, you're getting as many plants in the ground as possible, and that's kind of what I'm doing here. And so I'm getting ready for my season, which is going to be from now through late spring and into early summer. And I've really been, you know, the idea of not growing next summer has been just reinforced and confirmed, because I've seen even in the past few weeks how much better the crops are doing than they were all summer, and it just makes a lot more sense for me and everything I'm doing here. And I'm really excited about that. But I do have a lot of projects. I am very busy, but I'm going to try my best to keep to that one video a week posting schedule. So I'll be sharing what I'm doing here, and this kind of gives you an idea of what's coming up here on the farm. I've been spending a lot of time filming other people as well and making those short documentary videos. I really enjoy making those, and hopefully you got to see some of them recently. I'm really proud of them, and I love telling people stories. The other thing I'm really busy with is my other YouTube channel, which I did mention a couple videos ago, called Content on Content. If you're interested, I'll leave a link down below. It's all about content creation and filmmaking and those kinds of things. So if you're interested in that and sort of more of the behind the scenes of what I actually do, go check that out. Having great conversations with other creators. But otherwise, as I said, super busy, and I'll try my best to to take you guys along. Kind of a simple video for you today, but I just wanted to show you what's going on if you're interested in seeing what's happening here. So if you're watching this far in the video, please consider hitting subscribe if you're not already. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. I don't even know what I'm gonna say right now. Where's the autofocus? No? Autofocus? You can see we just still have that black plastic down on the landscape fabric. Not the landscape. Got the boards laid in here. And got quite a few starts. I just took some out and transplanted some beds out yesterday, so I gotta start some more stuff, but trying to insist on. Well, as I've been saying throughout this video here, that fall. Well, as I said, fall is the. As I've been saying throughout this video, fall is my new spring, and I'm feeling super busy.